So folks, turns out yesterday that Piers Morgan on his news programme there finally let the cat out of the bag, didn't he? Yes, the big news this past week, other than what's happening in Gaza there, has been this latest book to do with Harry and Meghan and racist elements within the royal family. Yes, there's been conjecture all week, because I believe a version of it was printed in Holland, that had two names in there, the two names that Meghan and Harry, although they've also denied it, although they've said it, are saying were racist within the royal family and have issued racist statements or brought up racist questions. The palace has always denied this. They said there's not a racist member amongst them. As I say, the book was published in the last 2 or 3 weeks all over the world, but in the version in Holland, it actually issued two names. The author has said he never put them in there for anybody to see. He doesn't know how they got in there. He's not saying whether or not they are the people that he knows all about, because he said he knows who they are, but he's not publishing any names. And weirdly, somehow in Holland, they've came to light. Very weird. Obviously done on purpose. Anyway, the two names are thus. Morgan, there's been a big blackout throughout Great Britain. They're not supposed to be reporting it in the press, on the news, on the radio, anywhere else. But Morgan took the bull by the horns last night and said, the two people that were in the book in Holland, he said, because I feel if it's in Holland and the Dutch people can read it, I feel the English people who put the royal family where they are, and who are a subject, should know about it too. He said the two people involved in this private conversation, or should have been private, was King Charles, or Prince as he was then, old Charlie Boy himself, and Kate Middleton, Princess Kate. Obviously I was gutted because I like Kate, I've told you that before. But I'm not so sure I ever thought anybody was racist. I'm not so sure I do now. I didn't hear the full thing last night with Mr. Morgan. I'm not all over his anymore. I wasn't particularly before, but pretty good at his job from time to time. But over the last few months, I'm steering away from him pretty big style. But yeah, I'm glad the names have been mentioned, because they need to be mentioned. It's all talking Twitterland and everywhere else, but I'm not on that platform, and I don't normally believe in hearsay. The fact that he's now mentioned it and it's been in print, we know where we are. I think Morgan was saying, although I've not heard that, he doesn't believe that they were in any way racist. They just sort of saying, I wonder what colour that boy would be. I think it was little Archie. And I think it's a question that some might ask. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think that shows any form of racism. But then again, wasn't present at the talk, and I don't know how it was handled and what views came after that question. Don't know who raised the question, be it Charlie Boy or whether it's Kate. And as I say, don't know what response they got. So I don't think we can call that racist, although many of a certain colour are saying that it was. I'm not saying there's not racists in the royal family. They may well be. But I don't know that you can form racism from just that one question. Let's face it. Many could have said, well, what about Harry? Well, he's a lot lighter skinned, a lot paler than his brother and than his dad. The ginger hair, where did that come from? Many have questioned that in the past, and we won't go down that rabbit hole, because it's a pretty deep rabbit hole, but things have been said. Kate or Charles might have said, I wonder, what colour skin he might be. Harry, the more common hair colours in GB would be dark hair and blonde hair. Ginger isn't as prevalent, but it's the third colour. Harry was ginger haired, unlike his mum and dad and William. Firstly, you'd think, well, obviously, you wouldn't think the baby would be ginger-haired, because Meghan is not only dark-haired, but slightly darker-skinned, but he may well have been. They may have mentioned his hair. Would he have dark hair? Again, you'd think it'd be unlikely to have blonde hair. I'm sure he has got dark hair. And then you probably go to the skin, but it doesn't mean to say they were saying it in a nasty way. We believe they've accepted Meghan. Edward? Harry certainly has. Obviously, He's married to her, so he'd accepted her. We assume, or we're told that the Queen did, and the Duke of Cambridge, was it? I think her hubby there, and we've no reason to believe his dad Charles hadn't. I think Charles walked her down the aisle, so you wouldn't think he'd be doing that if he didn't like the girl or had no time for her or was in any way, shape or form racist. You think he would have tried one way or another to get out of it, but he looked happy to walk her down the aisle, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get on sides in this whole thing, but I have always believed maybe, just maybe, there's a Meghan issue throughout all of this, as in the hands on the book that's just been released, the names that have come out in Holland, the information that this guy's getting that's wrote the book. He's saying he's Some are saying he's very close to them. Some are saying he's not close at all. Some are saying Meghan and Harry have nothing to do with him. Some are saying they've a lot to do with him. Meghan's hand seems to be over lots and lots of things for me. You know, you hear that Meghan always wanted to marry somebody well known. You hear then that when she met Harry, her ideal was to marry a prince. She's done that. You know, as her ideal then to be moved back home and pull him away from his family. I don't know if it's an ideal for her, but she's done that. Is her ideal to be kept in the media spotlight? She's definitely done that with Harry. It gives her every chance. You know, she's more well known for being with Harry than she was in Suits. You know, I mean, that was a monster show, wasn't it, for her? A real B-rated classic. But I don't know. I don't know that Charles or Kate, if they were the two involved, one of them say, I wonder what skin colour it'll be. Will it be fair? Will it be dark-skinned? Will it be black? Will it be a shade of black? I don't know that that's saying anything racist. It depends how it was delivered, surely. And it depends what was at the root of it and the sentiment behind it. I think there's people here trying to make agendas, and I think one of those people sits in a home in America with a chap that used to live over here called Harry. But I might be wrong. But anyway, the names are out there now. Make of it what you will, folks. Make of it what you will. But I'll tell you what, with race, same with gender, there's lots and lots and lots of ways to make mountains out of molehills when you talk about those two subjects. There really is. And is this one of those mountains that's been made out of a molehill? I think it may be, but I might be wrong.